That fish was right at the base of the real heavy clump that
I saw another one. Oh, there's another one. She's coming up.
Got me down in the weeds.
She's coming up. Oh, man. She's one of them fibers. I know it.
Oh.
Yeah, whoa. Oh, beauty, Jim.
There we go. Look at the size of that one. One thing important when you're fishing any type of big fish is matching the proper equipment for the fish you're fishing for.
You know, that's really one of the main reasons so many people don't catch truly big fish. Not only bass like we're fishing here, but walleyes, northerns, muskies, catfish, you name it. The reason they don't land the amount of big fish that they should is they're almost inevitably fishing too light of equipment for the situation. You see it all the time, Jimmy.
Pull them directly out is the name of the game. Right now we're fishing really heavy weed clumps, and we're using really heavy jigs to penetrate the weeds. You got to drive it right through, and a lighter bait, you just could not do that. Yeah.
Good one, big one, yeah.
Ooh.
Good one. Yeah. Oh no, I thought it was a big one. I'm getting myself gun shy. Every time I'm flipping in here, I get one of these, and Jimmy gets one of them big ones. But they're here. See this stuff we're flipping in? Look at the density of these weeds. That's the reason you got to have minimum 17-pound test line, and really in this kind of stuff, 20, 25 isn't uncommon to catch these fish, to get these big bass out of here. You know, 6.5 to 7.5 foot length in a rod, 20, 25-pound test line is ideal. You hook up on a big fish, you'll get them out of there. Wrong equipment, you'll hook them, lose them.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, they're still in here.
Yeah, lean on them. He was talking about matching the equipment. It's not only the rods and line, but also the baits you're using. If you look at this hook that I got on this particular jig, it's got a real stout hooks. If you use too light of a hook with real heavy line, a lot of times what you'll do is open up the hook itself, or sometimes if you're running too light a line, you won't be able to drive the point in. It's a nice one.
Another thing to keep in mind when you're fishing real dense weed cover like we're fishing, or any real heavy cover, keep your casts short. You know, we're making generally short flips. I'm not throwing any further than probably maybe 20 feet away from the boat. In heavy cover, you don't want to make a long cast. You're going to miss a lot of fish. The bait won't fall through the cover correctly. So you want to stay fairly close with the heavier bait so it slides over, and then when you get a strike, you're in a position to pull the fish straight up. Long cast hanging over a lot of cover, again, you're going to miss a lot of fish.
There's one thing you were talking about, the length of the cast. As the cover gets heavier, as a rule, bass have the tendency to be less spooky. They will not spook away from the boat. You can get right on top of them in heavy cover, and they will not pull away from you. They're pretty safe down there with all this tangling mess of weeds and stuff around them.
They think they're safe. You know, when you're coming over these weed flats and you're looking at the weeds, try to flip into the heaviest mat you see. And that, again, with a heavy jig, you can penetrate it. A lighter jig, you won't. Those bigger fish will target into those heaviest, thickest mats they can find. Don't necessarily go and be afraid to flip into the mass.
Yeah, that's what people, a lot of times, will come in and they'll be casting at the pockets. We're doing the reverse. We're casting at the heaviest clump of weeds that's there.
Oh, feels like a good one. Oh, man. Whew. Right on the end of her, James. Oh, come on, baby. Man, she come out of there like gangbusters. That fish was on. Now, you know that fish actually hit when the bait was free-falling? Whoa. You know, matching the equipment is really important. We've been talking about fishing these big jigs, bait casting rods, heavy line. That's the only way you can present the bait correctly to catch any amount of fish in these situations. You couldn't come in here with a spinning rod and say 10-pound test line and flip these big jigs and catch any number of fish. You're going to hook a big fish and you're going to lose it. Learn to be versatile. Get yourself a variety of rods and reels. I'm not here to sell you more rods and reels. I'm just simply telling you what it takes to catch a lot of fish. A couple spinning rods, a couple varieties.
It seems like I've spent all year on smallmouth streams, and that's not a bad idea, I guess, but
But before we get started again on this one, let's take a few moments. Let's just take a little bit and think about all the common sense things that you should be using when you river fish. And the main one is as plain as it can be. It's vision. It's looking ahead and finding the places that you ought to be casting to before you ever get to them. I haven't been on every smallmouth creek or river in the world, although that's one of my goals. But most of them I have been around have rocks, and sometimes big rocks, and shoals, and they have eddies and pockets. And about 75% of the water is not productive. Kind of sounds like fishing on a lake, doesn't it? Sure it does, except to my way of thinking, you can usually see that 25% that is productive on the river, and you can look at the bank out of the water and see more of that 25%. Folks, your eyes and ears are still the best fish locators, and don't ever forget that.
This is the real thing right here. What I'm trying to do, you can see this big rock going on the boat here. What I'm trying to do is throw way down the rear. Find those that are just barely out of my vision, you know, just barely see a little black spot in the water. You can see this rock right here. When you get up to it, it's too close to you, then you've messed it up. So if you'll try to remember, and for the most part, not paying attention to the ones you can see real good, especially in this clear water. And you'll look for one way down there. Just make long casts out. Sometimes, I'm bad about this too, sometimes I'll get wrapped up in getting up here close and jabbling my bait around those rocks. For the most part, you're too close. It's over with. Fish out there for one that actually fish for one you can't see.
Looks like we have a little fall in the air today, and does that make any difference with our fishing? Probably not. If a fish likes to live around a rock in the spring, he most likely will live there other seasons as well. Water temperature is important, though. Water temperature and crawdads, that's what a smallmouth lives for.
Something that really turns me on too is watercolor. When I look ahead again, I'm always looking downstream, probably more than I ought to be. I ought to be pay attention right here in front of me. But I'll look downstream and I'll see the change in the water color. You can tell right here, man, this is deep green, real dark. Now I'm not talking about mud or anything like this. This water is all clear as a bell. But when it gets deep like this, and has the right bottom on it, it's going to turn deep green. And man, there's a fish. That really, that really gets me excited. It's a little guy, but if it's too shallow, if I can see the bottom, normally, downstream, I'm going to crank up and get ready to make a move.
Oh, yeah. Woo-hoo! Did you see that jump? Did you see that jump? He cleared the water by 2 foot, didn't he? Holy cow. My goodness. That's a nice fish. That's the way to start right there, Scott.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is. That's a big fish.
Good fish.
Yeah. Fishing today with Scott Thibodeau from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. That'd be a Cajun for sure. We're going to do a little Cajun bass fishing right here. That's a good little Cajun bass right there, Scott. What do you think?
Yes, sir.
That's a start. We got a beautiful spring day. We got water temperature of 77 degrees. Come a hard little rain a minute ago, and it sent the humidity up to about 1 million. But this is the kind of day that you really want to spinnerbait for them big fish. That is a nice start right there. That is a good big old bass right there. And we're going to catch us A few like that, we hope. I'll tell you what, that bass had fear in his eye. A lot of folk in Louisiana don't turn bass back. Right, Scott?
Yeah, we're learning, Jimmy. You know, a few years ago, Hurricane Andrew really taught us a lesson on preserving the resource, and you know, we've gone to some length minimums and reduced creels and stuff, and catch and release is a big item now, thanks to guys like you and other professional fishermen.
Well, it makes a difference. No doubt about it, Scott. That old fish right there will be a pound, pound and a half, 2 pound difference.
No doubt about it.
This time next year, somebody else will throw a spinnerbait up there and they'll grab it. Did you see him clear the water?
He did. He was.
Golly.
He meant business. He meant business.
The flying bass. Well, he clobbered that spinnerbait. Oh, whoa. Did you see him come off that log? I mean, he come off that log and dominoed. That's a nice fish. Yeah, I mean, dominoed on that thing. Tell me about it. Yes, sir, booger. Come here, you're caught. Ah, you're mine now. Yes, you are. You're caught big time. Yeah, that's a pretty little fish.
Nice
That
fish.
that shallow water right good, hadn't he? Look at that, sugar. Come back and see me sometime. He come right off that old laying down log. If you can find a log laying down, that's exactly what you want to do, because I'm telling you, that's the kind of places where those fish like to lay. This little body of water we're fishing is located on a Harriswood plantation near Pond, Mississippi. Now, if you're wondering where Pond, Mississippi is, it's just right down in the very end of Mississippi. Kind of in that little deal that kind of juts out sideways in there. Probably ain't on the map because Pond, Mississippi's not real big. But this is a good-looking little piece of water. I don't know what the fishing's like in here, but so far it's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, for one guy in the boat it is.
Well, you know, I told you we was gonna take turns, but then you told me to go ahead and I could catch one out of turn.
Yes, sir.
So I did.
Yes, sir.
Hated to.
All right. Finally broke the ice, Jimmy.
Get him.
Decent fish,
Get him
too.
out of there. Yes, he is a good one.
Decent fish.
Yes, he is a good one. Well, you being from Louisiana, you just had to put that air claw on there, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Now, see if
Had
I
to
can
do it.
bring him home.
I guess I could have given you a crawdad colored spinnerbait and you'd been happy.
Well, look how healthy that fish
Oh,
is.
yeah, he's in great shape.
Beautiful
Whoa,
fish.
did you hear that one? Did you hear that one calling up there?
Yeah, a little activity. Well, Jimmy, you said us Louisiana boys need to learn something, and
Oh!
here she goes. Oh, no, you got him.
I got him. He's running like a banshee. He's not very big. Oh, he's about the size of yours.
That's one of those challenge fishes.
No, he's about the same size as yours.
I see that.
Huh?
About a 4-pounder?
Yeah, about 4.
Why don't you show the camera, Jimmy?
3.5 and 4, something like that, huh?
I see.
I'll just throw him back. There you go, bud. Yeah, he's about the same as that one you just caught.
I heard that splash.
Hey, I'm telling you, he was a good one.
Oh, yeah, Jimmy.
Big time. Got him?
That's the one.
Whoa,
That's
hop him
the
out of
one.
here. The rain is a-coming. Coming big time.
Boy, these fish are strong.
Toss that dude out of here.
Jump. You've been hiding those air crawls.
Woo!
You had to hide those air crawls on me, huh?
Yeah, I had them hid, but
Oh, well, come on now.
I
here.
dug them out.
This is about the size of that last one you caught, isn't it?
You want a rain suit?
No, sir, I'm fine. Look at that.
You're going to just get wet. No, that's about like the last one I caught. Yeah, that one that you didn't get to see that one because I turned him loose. Yeah, all righty. Hey, we'll be right back. We're going to let you... Oh, whoa. Then jump on my spinnerbait. You're just right, guy. Thank you. Little Jimmy Houston catch and release. Get him up there, measuring, weighs 13.5 inches long. Turn him loose. Come right off of that little stump right there. I looked away. I didn't even see that fish bite. Did you see that fish bite?
I didn't see him bite. Oh, kind of feel cheated.
Well, let me see if I can get in behind this log and...
There's a good one right there. Was there, you know, earlier, made that big boil. Never did bite.
Yes, sir.
Yep, he was there. I knew. I told you.
You called the shot, Jimmy. You called the shot.
When
look at this thing
when
go.
you get ready, just mention it, and I'll get you another one.
All right. Well, I'm putting me on official notice. The next cast, I'd like to capture one just like this.
I saw him boil in there. I saw him. He made a pretty good boil. He's a pretty nice fish, isn't he?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, I knew he was.
Nice fish.
As a matter of fact, I'll be honest with you, I thought he was a little bit bigger than that, just from the boil. I thought he was 3/4 pound larger.
Well, pick me out one a little bigger next time.
Pick you out one that's 3/4 pound larger? Okay.
Thank you.
Coming up.
Well, I guess we can swap turns now.
All right. All right.
You called that shot, though.
I'll get mine out of the way here pretty quick.
Okay, you sure called that one. Do you have any other suggestions while we're right here?
I had to wait till one shows himself to me, you know.
Okay.
I had to wait till he makes a boil so I know he's there. Whoa. Did you see how many times I threw in there before that fish bit that bait? You know, I'd made about 7 or 8 throws in there. It's just such a good-looking spot. I just figured there had to have been one there. You're not a bad little guy either. No, you're all right. You're a tricky little dude. You got caught anyway, though, didn't you? He hit that thing like he'd never seen it before in his life, after he'd seen it about 8 casts.
That's what you call a slow learner.
He is, isn't he?
There's an armadillo on the bank.
Yeah, I'd up there under that tree.
Right behind that stump he's rooting.
It's dinner for tonight. Oh, baby. Come out of that stump. Took 2 casts to get him up there, I guarantee you. Come out of that stump and grab my little bait. South Mississippi, Harriswood Plantation. I tell you what, there's lots of neat places around where they're growing bass. This little lake we've been fishing here at Harriswood today is only 3 years old. It's got a lot of nice chunky fish like that in here. It's got fish up to 7 pounds. The biggest we caught today, probably 5 pounds or so. But I'm gonna tell you what, neat little places like this, great places to catch really, really good quality bass. All right. I think we can catch one. Find one worm out here, too. What are you doing back there? You're catching fish. I didn't even know you had one on. You're catching nice fish too. That's a good one. Yeah. Oh, that's a good start, I guarantee you. I didn't even. Bond, let me tell you, one of the first rules, you gotta let me know when you're gonna catch it, man. Don't even be catching it. I'm fishing today with Bond Phillips with Phillips 66. Bond Bennett.
Bond Bennett.
I knew I would say Bond Phillips.
I wish I was a member of the Phillips family. That'd be all right.
Well, if you were, you probably wouldn't come go fishing with me though. And you probably heard that name Bennett. If you heard that name Bennett before, you've seen me fish several times with Bond's daddy, J.B. Bennett, who's a longtime friend of mine. And we mostly fish rivers when I fish with J.B. because he's really, really a good river fisherman. And I guess, Bond, that most of the time, you probably spent most of your time fishing rivers and really haven't fished lakes that much.
I really haven't. And so this is going to be a good experience, fishing for black bass.
That's a good start. You know,
it's a great start.
Bond this morning, he fished worms very much. And he said, well, I fished them in my daddy's pond much, but we mostly fish. Well, give him a kiss and turn him back.
Oh, no, I don't want to give him a kiss.
Come on, give him a kiss.
Ooh,
yeah. All right, we got Bond started right. He started right now, I guarantee you. All right. Well, that didn't take long. It didn't hurt a bit.
No, it did.
Ooh, good one. Come here, little guy. Golly, he's strong. Yeah, look at this guy. He is a strong dude. That's a nice fish. That's a good fish right there. Yes, sir. Nothing wrong with that, Bond.
That is a great fish.
Bond and I are fishing at Woods and Water, which is just right outside the city limits of Tulsa. And this is one of my favorite places. Not only is the fishing excellent here, well, that's a healthy fish. That fish you had was skinny. This is a healthy fish. The one you had was starving to death.
I'm glad you pointed that out, Jimmy.
Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we could stand catching a few of those, couldn't we? That is nice.
That's a great fish.
Not only is the fishing great here, but it's a great place to hunt, too. They got excellent, excellent deer hunting, duck hunting, and they've got something that I really, really like. They've got a 5-stand sporting clay range that is as challenging as anything you'll ever see. Now, Bond, when you kissed that fish a minute ago, obviously you didn't do it right, because it's taken us an hour to get another bite. You got to do it like this. See him getting ready?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he liked it.
She liked it. Watch. See, watch. Come on. I love it when a plan comes together. Did you see that? Was she happy or was she happy? Get ready. It won't take long to catch another one. When you get them in that mood, you're in business, bud. You get them feeling happy like that. Jump up there and wiggle her tail and wave goodbye at me. Ooh, doggies. I like that. Yes, I do. That's all right. Okay, Bond, it's your turn.
Hey, I got one.
Got him? Yes, you do. Pretty good one, too.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, he is. Oh, yeah, that's a good fish. Yes, it is. He got a mouthful of my little bait, too, don't he?
Yes, he does.
He's water skiing. He says, let me get my head down, Bond. Bond says, I'll put your head down.
I'm getting you in the boat, partner. I'm getting you in the boat.
He's hooked all over, isn't he?
Got him. I got him on the old
all
double,
hooks
actually.
in him.
Get him in here.
I knew they would bite this little puppy. Yes, I did. That's a good fish right there. Reason he bit your baits, he wanted to go water skiing. Had him up on his side. Woo! He's like them frogs in them commercials on TV.
There we go.
That's
He's a good one.
That's a fat little fish.
Yep. There he goes.
I was kind of concerned with that one skinny one, but the rest of them all been good and healthy. Yes, they have.
That's good advice, Jimmy.
Oh, whoa, come here, baby.
Oh, that.
Oh. Whoa, golly, that's a good one.
We got a double going.
You got one?
Yep.
Bet mine's bigger than yours.
Yeah, because I think mine's
may not be. I don't know. Whoa.
What do you got?
That's a nice. Golly, that bait is gone. Look at that. You can't even see the bait. It's gone.
I'm afraid to pull mine up. I don't even want to show you mine.
I ain't gonna land by it till I see yours.
Mine's a perch.
Oh, you got a big old bluegill. That's the size of that one, that bass we took out. Come here, booger.
I'll count one.
Come here. Whoa, yeah. Yeah, that is a good fish right there, I'm here to tell you. That is a dandy. Yes, it is. That bait is gone. Will you look at that? I mean, it is plumb dumb gone. I know I had some new ones up here somewhere. There they are right there. That is gone city. Yeah. Ooh, looky there. That's a good fish right there. Well, Bond and I started out this morning and we caught him on that old pro rib worm, what used to be a ringworm. And we caught several fish on it, and they were nice fish, but boy, the bites just got slow and slow and slow. And I looked out on this old flat and noticed a fish or two surfacing, and there's a lot of gar and stuff rolling around. Noticed a fish or two surfacing, and I just couldn't stand it. I had to pick up my little old special right there and get out there, and when I did, they started jumping all over it. And Bond, that ain't bad, is it, buddy?
That's a great fish, Jimmy.
I gotta ask you, you could have been in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, selling gas and oil today. Now, nobody will know but just you and me, and this little bass right here. Would you rather be here with me, or would you rather be there working?
I tell you, Jimmy, Injex is a great 2-cycle motor oil, but I'd rather be fishing.
I'll tell you what, Bob, you might get fired, but you're the first guy that's told the truth. Well, goodbye, sugar. See you later, sugar baby. A lot of people call them idiot baits because any idiot can catch fish on these baits. The only thing you have to do is just throw it out there, drag it back in, and you can catch fish. You can jerk it, and you can pump it, and you can do a lot of things. Main thing is changing speed a lot. One of the things that you need to be cognizant of is how you tie this bait on. Most of the baits come with a little split ring right here on the top. You see this little tiny split ring? Now, if your bait does not have a split ring, you want to add a split ring to it. Very, very important. This allows that bait to get a whole bunch of action. Now, what I do is I tie a Jimmy Houston knot on this, and on the Jimmy Houston knot, you simply double your line, run the double line through the eye of the bait, and I'm going to do it, I promise you I am. Run the double line through the eye of the bait like I've done right here, and then just drop the bait. Let the bait hang free. The double line is over the left index finger of your left hand. Then come up here and lay the line over here, and then simply wrap it 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, just like I've done right here. After you've wrapped it 4 times, then you run the loop in through the loop that you created up here around your index finger. Wet it and cinch it down. Now, here comes a real important part in this type of bait. The little split that's in the split ring, you want in the eye of the bait. You see what I'm saying? The little split is down in the eye of the bait. It's not up here on the fishing line, it's in the eye of the bait. That will actually give this line quite a bit more action. And then cinch the line down. Once you've got it cinched down, then you can just take your cutters, cut all 3 of these loops off, just like I've done right here. Boom, and you're in business. Key thing is to get a lot of action off of these kind of baits. You really want this bait wiggling a lot, you want it moving a lot, and having that split in the split ring down on the eye will really make a big difference. A good cinched down Jimmy Houston knot. Easy to tie, pure 100% knot, any line.
Come on up. Come on, here we go. Ah, there we go. You know, you look at the size of this fish, that's probably 3.5 pounds, and you look at that little bitty hook and you say, wow, how in the world does it perform the way it does? Actually, the interesting thing about a fish hook is it is the oldest piece of equipment known to fishermen. But yet in recent years, some great innovations have been made with the fish hook. And that's what our pros are going to talk about today on Sportsman's Challenge. Attention to get him to bite. Some new hooks can put a little more wiggle in your worm.
If you'll match all of your tackle from weight to the bait to the hook, you'll have a lot more action and a more natural presentation. Years ago, small hooks were not that strong. These hooks, as far as their tensile strength, is probably better than they've ever been in the entire fishing history. So don't be afraid to downsize.
What I've got here is a little bass assassin. It's a great fish catcher, especially in the spring of the year. And usually I rig it with just a bent shank hook with a swivel in front of it. To show you what you can do, you can take a weight forward hook, the Finaki hook with a weight forward. You rig it, you just run it through the front of the nose of the hook. Make sure you get it in the middle of it and run it all the way through to the little slot in the bottom. And pull your weight all the way through it and then turn your hook. Once you get it up on that hook about like that, then you can run it back.
What does a bass pro do when he's not winning another tournament, or losing one, or signing the bill of somebody's ball cap, or pulling on his fish-lined pants one leg at a time, like everybody else? Well, he might head out with a guy like Mark Emery, who wouldn't know a weigh-in from a wet T-shirt contest, but who grew up working on a Florida cattle ranch and found out the pond was full of bass. Pond fishing, pure and simple.
Really cover things thoroughly and look at what's out there. Well, too, I think sometimes we go so fast that large fish, we tend not to catch as many of them. Exactly. You know, tournament-wise, how many 10, 12-pound fish are caught in tournaments? There's some caught, but I would suspect there's a fair amount caught in small ponds compared to what would be caught in tournaments. You know, quite a few more. I mean, you started off in small ponds fishing like this too, didn't you? I mean, yeah. You know, it's just fun, and we had them in the neighbor's backyard, had a pond, and then, of course, we found a few just walking in the woods. Back in the old days, you didn't have to really worry too much about it. You had a lot of open space to go, you know, hunt for them and find them, so. Well, you always get this feeling that there's some fish always in a pond, and you don't have to go looking for them so bad. That's true. You know, it's a lot easier to figure out what's there because, you know, you're limited. Like right here, you know, we've got lily pads, we got, oh, my ride. But anyway, you got everything just right here, some cattails, some grass, lily pads, and you can kind of figure them out with the visible structure, and who knows, you may even find a hump or something like that. But these natural ponds are usually just bowl-shaped. So,
let's go find out.
I think I'll wait till you get back there.
Yeah. I'm just hoping the cows didn't get in the canoe while we were gone and catch all the bass.
Boy, I tell you, these lily pads. Ooh, look at this hole right here. There's got to be one laying right in there.
On a pond, you can fish with confidence. It's a kind of microcosm of Sam Rayburn or Santee Cooper in miniature. You work it slowly and carefully, looking, listening, knowing you're never very far from the fish. You pick your spots, then pick them like a lock.
What are you doing when you target a spot like that? I mean, what are you looking for?
Well, of course, your points are good, but anytime you have an indentation, it makes good ambush because it's going to have a point on each side, and sometimes they'll lay in the very backs of it. So you just kind of want to pick it apart, and like the points are absolutely the best. So I'm going to throw right on the point, or 2 feet past it, work it past the point, or I'm going to go all the way back inside the pocket, bring it down the side of the point. But anytime you have a little, you know, pocket, try to hit each side of it, and then one in the center at least. Here they come. That one's down a little thick.
I wonder if a cow would take a plastic worm. I've caught them on dry flies, but just kind of on the back cast.
Oh, hello. Ooh, little show off, eh? Hey, ho. Under the pads, around the pads. Oh, I like it, though. Now, this one hit ultra light, just a little tap, and I'm going, well, this is a little guy, you know? And, All right, throw water on my hose. Come on, we got it. One more time. Open. Man, look at this. Talk about being hooked. It goes in, and then in, out, and back in again. That's pretty wild. But that's kind of normal with a little HP like this. I mean, it just comes out pretty easy, but boy, he was well hooked. You know,
and what's HP is a style of hook that you got that's different?
Yeah, it's this, let me just let this guy go real quick.
Okay.
Oh, little fella. But yeah, it's got the big bend on it. In fact, I'll just take the worm off. So it's got the clip, which holds the bait on, doesn't allow it to slide down and bunch up, which keeps you from losing fish. I mean, a lot of times your worm will actually slide down and bunch up around the point, and you'll set the hook back into plastic and don't catch him. So the clip holds that, and it just snaps around the piece of plastic like that. And then you've got the deep pocket for the plastic to collapse and get out of the way, and then the hook point set at a right angle to hook him, and it's a great hook.
Well, you haven't missed any today.
Yeah, let's see.
Been pretty deadly.
And another thing about it, you know, like this one, I just caught a fish and it's kind of torn up, but you can take it and just keep hooking the same worm over and over and over because of this little clip. Won't let it slide down, so it holds it. Makes all your baits last longer, all your soft plastic. So I'll just kind of punch it in here and give me a little hooking job there. Let's go catch another one. That was fun.
I can hear them snapping back in here.
Are they snapping?
Yeah.
All right, you want to have some fun?
You gonna flip?
No.
Across the top?
Yeah. I love it. Man, this is my fun way to catch them, if it'll work. Catch one there. Yeah, this may not work either. I caught a crotch first thing. Crotch action again.
There's something right there. Drop that hole next time, flip it. That pad was shaking big time. Right where the lily is.
Goodness, look at this. Skating, drop. Get back up.
Man.
I don't know how you didn't get bit that time, bud.
Oh, nice. Oh, it's just awesome to have to fight these things through serious cover. Oh. Yes. Yes. You thought you were going to sneak away, didn't you, big guy? Didn't you? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Gotcha. Oh, I tell you what, worm fishing. I love it. HB hook and the lily pads, there's nothing like worm fishing. I love just knowing ahead of time that you got a bite and he doesn't have a clue that you even know it. And then you just jerk him out of this stuff. Let's let him go. That a long enough cast for a hook set?
I got that ought to test the theory, wouldn't it?
I think he's off the other side. Oh, look at it. He got it. Got him. Come on. Oh, look at this. No, he's coming. He's coming. I got him.
But I don't want to take a chance. That's a big fish.
There he is.
Holy Lord.
Goodness, look at this. In the pads, no less.
Oh, my gosh.
In the pads.
All right.
Look at this head. My goodness. Look at the size of this fish.
Oh, my
gosh. Golly. I'm loving this. In the pads. Swimming a worm. Oh, that's awesome.
Let me see that thing.
Is that awesome?
Man, I can't believe you got him out of it. I mean, that's thick cover.
Well, he just kept moving, and as long as you keep him moving, keep his head up.
Yeah.
You know, and the stuff, and just keep him moving. I gotta do the digitizing on it real quick.
Yeah, let's see.
Mr. Cullumright will tell me. Get our. He's another one of these that's
just coming out of kind of a drought this summer, so I think they're not quite as heavy as they should be, but he's still a big fish.
Big fish. He's another 5 1/4 pounder.
Nice shot. Nice fish. So that's what, like a rolling 10-pounder?
Yeah, that is a rolling 10. Look how big. I mean, these fish are hugely long. I don't have a tape measure, but when you're looking at my arm, right, and you're looking up here, he's pretty much 3/4 or almost
he's
the
right
whole
in there.
length.
Yeah.
That
right
is a big fish.
We get some weight on them this winter. They're going to be huge.
Ooh, that was fun.
Well, put him back. Let's get him when he's even bigger.
So that's what you do when you've fished 2 major tournaments in a month and done all the traveling and balanced all the fast food in your lap. You get home and get with a friend and go hit a pond.
Looks easy at times, but it's really tough. You got to do a couple things to make it where it's easier. Probably the hardest thing is avoiding the V's and the lily pads. Grab one here. You take a lily pad, and when you cast by these things, they have the V's, and it inevitably it's going to run your line. Let me get my line. It's going to run your line right down in the pad. So it just catches in there, and then it's held securely, and you cannot get that out. The only way to get it out, or the easiest way, is to sink the lily pad. So just pull tight, it'll sink it underwater, and then that also turns the angle of this underwater and allows this just to come out. It also keeps it, once you go underwater, it keeps it from swinging back and popping in the eye. So make sure you pull it down underwater and then just give it a steady pull. The other things you want to do, you want to use heavy line and a light weight. I'm using 20-pound test string and a little 1/8 ounce weight. Now what you can use is, lighter line, 14-pound test, but you'd want to go lighter weights, like a 16th ounce would work real well if you use lighter line. Or you can still go up to heavier line. And I like to use a lot of times in this because you have to drag big fish through these pads, and they're tough. So I like using heavier line, sometimes 25 and 30, and that little 1/8 ounce will hold it up. It's real buoyant. And the lighter you make a bait, the easier it comes through trash and cover. So even if you're fishing a spinnerbait, let's say in wood and timber and stuff, if you go to a real light spinnerbait, see, it comes over it real well, real easily, tracks through without it sticking to it. And that's what you're looking for. So light weights, heavy line, and if you get hung in these pads, just kind of pull it down solid and pull, and preferred pull off to one side or the other, because if you pull straight bag and it does come out, it's going to hit you. So always come off to a side and just keep steady pressure, and it'll pop right out, and then just reel it on up. And like I said, usually it's not the hook that gets it. It's just the weight that wedges in here. So by pulling it under, you're going to change the angle and allow it just to come out. Try that, and you'll make it easier on fishing lily pads.
Ripples through the heart of the South from the Appalachian Mountains to the rich, flat farm country of western Kentucky. Several major dams break this river's flow, and their tailwaters offer some of the best fishing anywhere. One in particular, Wheeler Dam in North Alabama, is a hot spot for dishpan-sized smallmouth bass. Welcome to the Cardiac Cove.
Here's the rig. We're going to be just drifting minnows. Real simple bait holder hook, a couple of split shot. We're going to cast it right into the edge of the current and drift downstream with them. John, what do you think?
I'm ready to go.
Let's catch them. What's the technique now? How are we going to do? We feed line out or?
Yeah, you want to stay down close to the bottom. It depends on if you got a slack line, you want to pull it up. If you got a line that you know that you're not hitting the bottom, then you want to feed out line.
Going to hang up a lot?
We're going to hang up a lot.
All right, let's see what we can catch here. John, what kind of current conditions are best? I mean, if somebody came down here, what would be the best condition they could fish?
Well, it's different. The different turbines are going to run a little bit differently, but the main thing is they can change the load on them. And what you're really looking for is if you can find a swirl coming out of that boil there, and there's like feed lanes or channels that those feed or that they're feeding in there, and that's what you're looking for. And even off down the side like this right here, you want to get right on the edge of this current right here, but usually the warmer it is, the more current you want. They feed in the swifter current in hotter weather than they do in the cooler weather.
When they take it now, is a bite a real hard, distinctive thump, or?
No, not necessarily. A lot of times they'll just pick it up, and you won't realize that they, I mean, if you get your hand on the line there, usually you can feel it whenever they hit it.
Yeah, I can feel it working just above bottom. I'm hitting the bottom a little bit.
Yeah.
You got a fish?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I had one. Yeah.
Still got him.
Yeah. Stripe.
Right, a little stripe.
Yeah, that's one of the things you're going to catch up here. Is you're going to catch these things here, and later on, when it gets a little bit cooler, the hybrids and the salts are going to come in here pretty good.
I guess besides white bass and smallmouth, you can catch the stripers in here, you can catch catfish, you can catch drum, you can catch big hickory shad.
Well, yeah, another.
They're real cauldrons of fish life, aren't they?
Well, really, another real good eating fish is sauger.
Okay.
There's pretty good sauger fish here in the fall, and the winter, and the spring.
I think that sauger's the best eating fish in the lake.
I do, too. You want to keep him or throw him away?
Oh, you fish hungry?
Not for that right there.
All right, put him back. Now you're going to run up again?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I need to go ahead and pull back up.
That's a big white. Isn't it, or is that a drum?
Drum.
Drum. The current's moving it now faster than the...
Well, we're setting a slower current than what our line is. There's a hit right there.
There we go. That ought to... That's a good eddy. Oh, yes. What you got?
Oh, feel like a strap.
All right. Nice smallmouth. Good fish, John. All right. And that's what we're after.
Good. Oh.
A Wheeler Dam.
There he is.
About a pound, pound and a quarter, pound and a half.
Yeah, he's a good pound and a half.
That's a good chunky fish, yeah.
Yeah, he's nice, healthy fish, isn't he? Come here, fish. Ah, there we go. Tell you one thing, he wasn't going to get off. He's hooking that tough part of his mouth there.
Well, you can't catch one without a hook, can you? He just got another nice smallmouth behind us here. This drift goes down for around 100 yards or so, John?
Well, you can really catch smallmouth, I guess, all the way down to Hog Island if you want to.
All right.
It runs a long ways. It's not...
I guess that depends on the current and the number of generators they're running.
I know a lot of times when the current's up, we like to take a fairly small split shot, especially over there off of number 11 in that area. We got another turbine coming on right now. You're fixing to see it right here. We're going to pull more into the current. It's on, let's see, this is like number 2's running. They just kicked number 4 on. So there's one turbine off in between. So we're going to have to get into this thing a little bit deeper here.
All right.
Just wait just a minute, let the boat get started back first before we make our cast. Okay, go ahead.
There he is. He's a little fish, probably a little white bass. Yep. Come here, little fella.
Well, I got unhung by fish.
I like your technique there, John.
Just go down and let it hang.
Come
up.
off the rock and...
Watch it. Yeah, come on out there.
You got one that's going to jump?
Well, I thought he was going to, but...
All right. Whoa, nice pokes.
Ah, there you go.
He's got a smallmouth.
That's a largemouth, isn't it?
Pull him around on this golly. Nice. Oh, big largemouth. Good fish, John. That's about a 2.5-pound largemouth. What John's doing when he drops the bait in the current, he's keeping his bail open and he's feeding line out, and he's just stripping it. He's feeling on his way down as that bait sinks.
Oh.
Never loses contact with the bait, but he wants to let it go on to the bottom in that current. And somewhere as that bait's sinking, these fish are coming up and nailing it. So, John, that's what I'm going to have to start doing. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a pretty decent fish right there.
Okay.
You want to measure him, see if he's long enough?
That's a good fish. We're going to put him back in the water and let him grow up just a little bit more, but that's a nice catch. All right. Oh, had to get me back, didn't he?
Yeah. Come out and then kind of pull back into the current there, like it's doing right now.
Yeah.
That's usually your best drift right there. Well, here he comes. Oh, come out of that water.
Oh, man, it's a big smallmouth. Oh, John, don't lose that fish. That's the biggest of the day right there. What'll he go, 3 or 4 pounds?
Yeah, looks like it.
It's a nice fish. He's a big fish.
See if he'll jump again for us.
Boy, he came out of the water.
I love it when they do that.
3 feet. Here he comes. Here. Oh, nice.
Oh, Lord, he done messed up my reel.
That's a 5+.
He messed up my line here. I hope he's hooked good. Oh.
Golly. Like a mule, isn't he? You got him, though. He's...
I believe we done whooped him.
Huh?
Done whooped him. Got his head out of the water.
Very nice. All right.
That's what you're looking for there.
Boy, aren't they pretty. That's the best fish that swims, see? What'll he go, 4?
Yeah, I believe he go 4. Oh, maybe a little over 4.
4, 4.5.
Yeah. You want to release that one?
I will do the honors. Boy, I tell you, it doesn't get much better than this. Tennessee River smallmouth are big and mean, and right here at Wheeler is one of the best places you can go to catch him. All right, there you go. Just eases away.
Oh, right out there.
All right. Big old smallmouth. A little bit better.
I had a hit out there. And that
Just now?
Yeah. You may have got my minnow. That's what happened last time I had one. I wound up with nothing.
Too. I got fish. It's a good fish, whatever it is.
Okay.
It's a small now.
See if I can get mine in now and get out of your way. What you got there? Bronze back? Yep. Okay, pull them up there and I'll...
All over the country, you can find great fishing in tailwaters. The species and techniques to catch them may change, but the action and the thrills are the same. So give tailwaters a try. You may be the one who gets hooked. Southern Outdoors wing shooting editor Marty Fish.
Brought to you by Polaris, makers of 16 different ATV models, including the Sportsman 500.
When fishermen get together and start talking color, they focus on things like bait color and watercolor, and yes, even boat color. But how many of you remember a conversation on line color? Yes, line color. Most anglers don't give line color a second thought, focusing instead on things like break strength and whether the line is limp enough for slackline presentations like jigging or abrasion resistant enough for things like flipping and pitching. And that's a mistake because line color can make a huge difference in your fishing success. Now, it wasn't too long ago that I would automatically reach for clear mono, assuming that's the most difficult one for fish to see. They still do when fishing ultra-clear waters. However, the vast majority of waters found in the U.S. have some color to them, and that's where these new colored lines really shine. These lines are far less visible in most waters. It only takes a glance to see that. Did they catch fish? Well, here's what happened just yesterday.
Well, that is a nice one, too.
Whoa, look at that fish. Oh, nice job. Bring him over here. Let me get out of the water for you. What a fish! Oh, that's a 6, 7 pound fish. Come here. Got him. Yeah. Look at that fish. Look at the belly on that fish. Give the new green lines a try. They've made a believer out of me, and I know they're going to improve your fishing success.
Province of Ontario, Canada. Niagara Falls is one of the most spectacular natural wonders of the North American continent. The falls are on the Niagara River, which flow between the United States and Canada from Lake Erie to Lake Ontario. Now, the falls are divided into two parts by Goat Island. The largest portion on the southwestern side is the Canadian Falls, known as Horseshoe Falls, and it measures 2,600 feet long and drops 162 feet. The smaller American Falls is on the northeast side of Goat Island. It's 1,000 feet long and drops 167 feet. It is here my guest, Ernie Calandrelli, and I are after one of my most favorite species of fish, the battling smallmouth bass of the Niagara River. Ernie has assured me that the fishing should be great based on his almost 40 years of experience fishing the Niagara. Stay where you are. We'll be right back with some great smallmouth action.
We tried the Coast Guard station at the mouth of the river where it dumps into Lake Ontario, and we got a few, but we didn't get really the size fish we were looking for. But this rolling is my honey hole of smallmouth bass right here.
How should we fish it, Ernie?
Well, we should throw some jigs with either 1/4 or 3/8 ounce heads on them. Them foxy jigs ought to work pretty good in here.
I'll just run the troll.
That's all. The whole point here is that you got to have some boat control and just keep the boat out of the bad water.
Well, it's some bad water. That's for sure. It is some terrible bad water.
Up here it gets exciting if you're catching fish or not.
Whew, son. This is bad water. So where should we throw? Just
I'd throw it along these walls and you know, towards shore and just bump it real slow back to you.
How deep are the fish here?
They're going to be anywhere from about 4 feet of water on down to probably 15.
Okay. Just working that jig slow?
Just working it right down that bank. Real easy.
You say that this water's so turbulent around this bridge that sometimes a whirlpool will open up.
Yeah, you'll see out here, you'll see them once in a while. They'll open right up.
Take a boat down.
You'll take water in over it, over the side.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever had water come in?
Many times.
But it won't take the boat down.
It will if you left it in there. I don't, like if I'm fighting a fish like a salmon, going through there, I leave the boat, you know, with the motor running, you can power out of them when they get you.
Oh, smallmouth. He hit going down. Oh, look at that big one. I got a big one. I got a big smallmouth. Pretty big. You know, bigger than bigger than we've been catching.
Yeah.
The Niagara River Power Plant.
That is a nice one. Yeah. Got a good girth on it.
Yeah. Really good fish. What water? What powerful water?
Water is powerful.
Hit that foxy jig right up against that wall. Look at that. That's a big smallmouth.
You hit it on the drop?
Yeah, I saw the line just twitch. Right on out. Yep. That's over 3 pounds.
Yeah, it is.
That looks like a good one.
He's light. A little darker than what we've been catching, too. It's a real nice fish. Yeah, it is.
Now, you know, that foxy jig, it looks just like a crawfish. And it has a little tail on it. I really can't explain what else it looks like, but I think it looks like a crawfish.
Yeah.
And that's one of the primary food sources of these big smallmouth. That's about a 3-pounder. That's a nice one. Okay. Well, we're moving out. So the current's taking us upriver.
That's what was happening.
That's like at least a 20-mile-an-hour current out there. That's an incredible amount of current. Woo! And there's a back eddy over there. Is there any smallmouth on the other side?
I'm too scared to go over there.
Oh, yeah. It looks bad.
That scares me.
When you're too scared to go over, I'm sure it's too rough to go over there. Might be another whirlpool situation.
Quite a few years back, they tried to run them river raft trips like they do out west in the Snake River and that stuff. And the guides that they got from out there with them big monstrous rafts, they tried it a couple times and they can't do it because they can never read the water. You know, out there the water is either high, medium, or low. They know where to go with the rafts. In this river, especially dumping into the whirlpool that shoot through there, they could never get a solid read because the river changes twice a minute. You got one?
Yeah. This is a two-handed fish. Gotta hold on to him with 2 hands. Look at that big fish.
Ooh.
That's a big smallmouth, boy. Oh.
Got my glasses all wet.
I'm telling you. That's a big one, son. Takes 2 hands. 2 hands to hold to that one.
Oh, yeah. Good fish.
That's a fat one. Just put out of curiosity.
How big do you think it is, Roland?
I don't know. I'm going to find out. The best way to humble a lot of these liars, is just get carried away. A lot of people would call that 3.5. It's probably an honest 3. It's hard to see. Well, we'll see what it weighs. No, it's not quite 3 pounds. It's only 2 pounds, 13 ounces, but still, you know, that's a nice respectable
look at how wide
smallmouth.
that fish is.
Big and big. And a lot of people would call that 4 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people.
I know a lot of guys like that.
Yeah. Okay. But this is an equalizer here,
That's
boy.
right.
This is the deal. Okay. What I did on that thing, I threw it out